What is wrong? Are you okay? Are you going through menopause or something? What is wrong, ma'am?
Tyra Banks is a African-American, Black American model from Inglewood, California, and she's a cultural icon. But for the last few years, she has moved to Australia. She has a boyfriend there. His name I can't actually enunciate. I think I would say Luis Martin. Let me just say that. And also while she's there, she has a new ice cream company called Smize and Dream. This is hot ice cream, all right? And so no problem, she has this new brand, but in introducing this new brand, she went viral for basically performing at a pop-up or at a concert that she's doing. And this is like an alter ego thing that she did. And I'll play just a little bit.
You know when Santa Claus tells you that he gonna come down your chimney and he wants you to leave some cookies and cream on that thing for him to eat. Do you know what he doing? Child, he ain't biting that cookie. He ain't sipping that cream. He taking a bowl from your cabinet.
And of course, people were concerned.
Wow, she has an accent. She looks like she has the Whitney Houston problem. There's sweat involved. There's a wig involved. It's all kinds of messy.
So this is a Caucasian lady who's saying like, this is not the Tyra Banks that I grew up to know. And again, Tyra Banks here is acting ethnically hood. And I mean, the whole entire crowd, from what I can see, is mostly white. And so now you have Tyra Banks sounding like this ghetto welfare recipient, which this is not what we know from her. She did not build her brand like this. And other people are not happy about it.
Can somebody please tell me what is wrong with Tyra Banks, bruh? I have not seen Tyra Banks since the movie Life Size. Don't think I'm lying. I'm telling you, I ain't been keeping up with her. But this recent video of her having a manic episode, like, it don't sit right with my spirit. Why are all our childhood stars that we watched growing up looking like they, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know.
And others.
Like, is she having a midlife crisis? Is this what we doing in our 50s? Are we traveling across the water and making a complete, utter mess of ourselves? What, Tyra? What are you on? What's wrong, babe?
Now, these are all people who have criticized Tyra Banks. However, I do want to be fair to Tyra because she has fans and they're going to point out something that maybe we've all missed.
Then y'all out here talking about what's wrong with Tyra Banks. Ain't nothing wrong with that lady. She just had a few drinks. She was all right. She was having a good time in Australia. I think she was somewhere else minding her business, not in this country. But y'all must be new here because Tyra Banks has always kind of been like kind of acting like that. Even like America's Next Top Model, like, hello, come on. Like, she's always had this, like, I wouldn't call it weird, but just kind of like cringe moments. She has.
So according to this young lady, Tyra Banks on, America's Next Top Model, she's always done things like this, always behaved things like this. This is nothing new. So anybody out here who's acting like this is new, it's not. This is just Tyra Banks. She's being herself. Let's say, for example, that this is true. Tyra Banks has always done this, always had cringe moments. The issue that I have with that is anybody who can monetize their own community. And it's almost like Tyra Banks was dressing in drag, all right? She has this, she looks manly. She has a yellow hat on. I mean, it just looks crazy. But before I kind of go more, like, I want you to hear what Tyra Banks actually sounds like.
You see the Tyra TJ to the Bears for the other night?
Oh, no, that wasn't Tyra. That was Santa Smize. I'm Tyra. She's Santa Smize, yellow hair, don't care, crazy, diva from the South Pole with a Southern accent. Definitely not. You know what? I think she's actually going to be here at the Smize and Dream shop tonight. We have a party, this big party. She's going from Sydney to New York to bring my hot ice cream to New York. I can't believe it because she hates me. She hates that I haven't been in hot ice cream.
So this is what Tyra Banks actually sounds like without all the effery. And so I'm thinking she does live in Australia. It's a majority white population. Would Tyra Banks have to do this if she were in Nigeria? If she were in Jamaica? No. Here's where I'm going with this. When you can't monetize your own community, you somehow become a caricature of your own community, enabling self-deprecating humor in order to make money in a place in which you don't own. And I see so many blacks have to do this or have to change their vantage point just to be around whites. Like, look at Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell has been a sellout for years, saying things that there should be no such thing as Black History Month. We saw the same thing with Stacey Dash, you know, when she was out there getting clapped up. And so when you see these black people who are around all these whites, even the whites can't understand it. Like, yo, like, why are you acting like that? Like, we don't know you for this. Why are you trying to be hood? Why are you trying to be this caricature? Like, that is not how we know you. So can you please stop? And also, you're embarrassing yourself. And then when you pick that caricature or alter ego to behave like, you're not doing yourself any satisfaction. You're doing yourself a disservice. So in other words, you have to stoop to the lowest common denominator and take that all the way to Australia, knowing damn well if you lived in America and somebody acted like that or behaved like that, you would not live next to them. You would not be like them. And again, I see it all the time. Content creators selling out. I see people all the time doing this because they're just tired of working with black people. And the reality is there's so much money in the black world, in black America, in black Africa, in the diaspora. Like, you don't have to act an ass. You know, if you're gonna act an ass, at least do it for black, okay? Don't take your ass to Australia. Get a white husband or a white boyfriend, okay? Because one thing for sure is he's not gonna get up there and act an ass in front of his people. Now, I don't have no problem with you getting a white boyfriend or a white girlfriend, whatever I do. But if that means that you have to act like you like your community is sick, it's not even worth it. And then it just continues to show you don't own anything. Why don't you own anything? And you know what? When I was coming up, I want to have this conversation because it's so important. My mom was telling me, son, you got to get out of Del Paso Heights. You have to get out of here. Got to get out of here. Got to go where there's more opportunity. All right. And you know what? I understand that. Okay. Go where there are more opportunities. However, what she was telling me was, okay, go out there, do very well, and then, you know, maybe you'll come back in a way. But what she really meant was get out of here, go to middle America, get a great job, retire, put your kids in non-black schools, everything will be fine. Here's the fundamental issue with that. You don't own anything in your community. It keeps you covering ground. It keeps you having to go back and forth, doing this all the time, which is what a lot of blacks have to do because you don't own your community. When you don't own your community, you have to go out here ass-hatting it up, all right? If you would just focus in on your community and focus in on bringing value to your community and solving problems in your community, then you wouldn't have to do this. You tell me a Chinese person that comes to the continent of Africa, they see African, and then they get up there and acting or behaving as the worst of their people. You tell me where that happened. I'm waiting for it. Tell me where it happens. I'll tell you that it never, ever happened. You tell me the Jewish person. You tell me any person that has to behave like this. They don't. Want to know why they don't? Because they own what they have. They don't have to go out there and be the worst of anything. Even Africans. When Africans come to America, any place, they're doing very well. They already have leverage. Look, I mean, I'm not going to act like that. I mean, you can even look at some of the people in the black community. Dr. Boyce Watkins online, Tariq Nasheed online, Corey Holcomb online. They don't have to go and act the ass anywhere because their community supports them. But Tyra Banks missed a great opportunity, and now you're in Australia because you don't have any community anymore. You completely forgot about that. Now you have to cover this territory. And frankly, it makes you look like you are sick. You look delusional. And people look at you like, man, we don't respect you. It's almost like these rappers who get in front of executives and start dancing and start doing all kind of crazy stuff, anything they can to get signed, instead of being the person that has already had the track record. You've already had a pipeline, like the old No Limit guys. E4D in the Bay was Sick With It, you know, Too Short, selling out the trunk. You already had sales. You already had people buying your stuff. So now somebody has to come and just give you a distribution deal because you already did the work. It's better than going in and trying to, you know, buy a deal. or beg for a deal, or do whatever. You know, start dancing and stuff like that. You ain't got to be out here booty clapping it up like Bobby Shmurda, doing anything to get signed. I mean, and you've been in the game for so long. What's the point of having all that wealth if you don't have any leverage? You got to get out there and act like that just for some money. It's crazy at your level. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Yoshi Dude Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. We're out.